On the 100th anniversary of the first shelter for the needy, Ilir Mehta and Donald Lu sent clear messages that the law must do more to protect the vulnerable. The Prime Minister held the first meeting today with a group of academics tasked with reforming the Academy of Science. An Albanian delegation will promote our capital at the Winter Warmer Fair in the Belgian capital from November 24th to December 31st. Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Wednesday, the 22nd of November 2017. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of Aura News, bringing you the day's national top stories translated into English 6 days a week. The Justice Appointment Council terminated the one-year constitutional mandate without having carried out any work, and the Assembly of Albania announced the opening of the process for electing of new members of this institution. On December 7th at 10 a.m, the Parliament will release the shortlist of candidates for the 9 new members of the Justice Appointments Council. Those elected will hold their post until January 1st, 2019. According to the Constitution and the law, the Council is composed of 2 judges from the Constitutional Court, 1 judge from the High Court, 1 prosecutor from the General Prosecutor's Office, 2 judges and 2 prosecutors from the Appellate Court, 1 judge from the Administrative Court, and some substitute members. The Justice Appointment Council is an important body for the election of members to the Constitutional Court and the High Inspectorate of Justice. On the 100th anniversary of the establishment of the first shelter for the needy in Albania, the country's president, Ilir Mehta, and US Ambassador Donald Lu sent clear messages that the law should provide greater protection for the vulnerable. The shelter, known as Streha, varfnore, was the first of its kind in Albania, built to accommodate up to 50 children. Addressing the attendees, US Ambassador Donald Lu said America supports the Albanian people in the fight against organised crime and the strengthening of democratic institutions. 100 years ago, Americans came here to help set up this shelter. Today, the US continues to support the hopes of the Albanian people through the strengthening of the Albanian armed forces, the fight against organised crime, and the development of democratic institutions. These are already becoming stronger thanks to justice reform. Finally, let me thank the President for organising today's activities and the National Institute for the Integration of Albanian Orphans for the preparation of this beautiful photographic exhibition. We hope the shelter continues to provide hope and happiness to those in need, said Donald Lu. The President's speech began with the appreciation for the first philanthropists, religious communities and known personalities who supported abandoned children with basic necessities such as shelter, food and clothing. President Ilir Mehta also gave a speech at the event stating, "Economic problems and unemployment cause desperation, which can provoke domestic violence, divorce and crime every day. Divorce and crime destroy the foundations of the family. The destruction of the family throws children to the streets. As President, I feel that the state, both central and local government, public policies and private initiatives, as well as Albanian society as a whole, must make joint efforts to integrate orphan children into society, allowing them to grow healthy and be educated. Let's end transition, strengthen institutions, prevent political and socio-economic crises, strengthen the rule of law, hit organised crime and corruption, fight drugs and trafficking, and stop the forced labour and abuse of minors," said Ilir Mehta. The descendants of those who have contributed over the years for the care of orphan children also received honours during the event. The first official meeting between Prime Minister Rama and the team tasked with reforming the Academy of Science was held today. As expected, the meeting reflected all the tension between the government and the academics regarding the future of the institution. Preceding the debate, Prime Minister Rama reconfirmed his position regarding the Academy, saying, "The Academy of Science has transformed from what was once a jewel into now a corpse." Academics agreed that reform is necessary for the future of the institution, but that it should be conducted according to their conditions. They want to ensure the institution is not merged with other institutes and that the government provides the budget required to complete the reform. "Allow us to remain an autonomous institution and provide us with the budget to enact the reform," was the stance of the academics. Following the meeting, the fate decided upon for the Academy of Science is that they will receive a drastic reduction in funds allocated, with the budget allowing only for wages and bonuses. The entire reform process will be drafted by both academics and government experts and must be completed by March 2018. Currently, the Academy is without a chair or deputy chair. Though Beccerai and Koruti were elected via a vote, the decision to resign came following accusations against the institution from the Prime Minister. The online platform for co-governance with the citizens seems to be functioning well. Following denunciations made via the portal at Shpriya.al, 3 mortgage officials in both Tirana and Fir were dismissed for abuse of power. The citizens' complaints were taken into consideration by the Ministry of Justice and, following verification of the claims, a decision was made to remove the officials from their positions. We have verified that the accused persons have abused the power of their role. Such offences require dismissal, said the Minister for Justice, Atilda Jonai. The first case, in Fir, resulted in a lawyer being discharged from a regional office near Fir. In the second case, a citizen from Tirana filed a complaint on the 26th of October 2017. The complaint stated that documents had remained awaiting signatures at the respective offices since 18th of October 2017. Following intervention, the appropriate signatures were completed. From 18 of October 2017, the documents had remained for signature at the respective offices. The Minister of Justice warned of further sackings for any such verified cases of abuse of power by administration officials. For 2018, the government will allocate an additional 30 million lek with the Albanian presidency, offering Ilir Meta a higher budget than his predecessor, Bujar Nishani. A total difference in the presidency budget is 16.5 million lek, more for the current president compared to the period when the institution was run by Nishani. The President's Secretary, Alci Balko, had requested an additional 60 million lek for the purchase of new vehicles, security systems, increased salaries and other activities. The government has partially fulfilled the 60 million lek request by offering an additional 30 million, meeting the demands halfway. In the Parliamentary Law Committee, the majority gained approval for the 2018 budget draft, using only their votes, while the DP and SMI voted against each article. MPs from the majority voted in favour of the draft local tax bill as well. Despite the meeting being held to discuss and debate the budget, the Democratic Party did not waste any opportunity to press the issue of the government's relation to drugs. According to the DP, the budget of criminal organisations operating in Albania is higher than the 3.4 billion state budget. Crime in Albania has a higher budget than the state. The DP opposes every article of the 2018 budget draft, said DP MP Edward Halimi. The budget's final report will now be passed on for approval by the Parliamentary Committee for Economics. During a meeting of the Economics Commission today, a number of health-related issues were discussed. Healthcare concessions should be monitored more closely, according to 10 key qualifiers. The call to the Minister of Healthcare for greater monitoring over beneficiaries of health concessions came from the head of the Economics Committee, Erion Brace. There should be more monitoring for concessions, said Brace. Meanwhile, the opposition raised concerns about the process utilised for selection of heads of hospitals across the country, as well as the conditions of the health centres. The Minister of Healthcare stated that a rehabilitation program will begin soon. Also, during the committee discussions, a legal change was proposed to reduce the intake of unhealthy, sugary drinks by Albanian youth. According to the Minister for Healthcare, a salary increase of 5% is expected next year for doctors, meaning a doctor will have an average salary of 78,000 lek. The Ministry of Healthcare and Social Welfare has a fund of 60.1 billion lek for the coming year. Tirana will be on show at the Winter Warmer Fair in Brussels to promote the culture, history and tourism of our capital city. The fair will be held from November 24th to November 31st. Mayor of Tirana, Erion Veliai, hosted the delegation that will represent the capital at this fair, praising the event as a good advertising opportunity. Veliai said that this fair will be a great opportunity to build bridges for an alliance between domestic and foreign businesses, in turn providing a positive impact on the economy. This is a good opportunity to further collaborate with foreign businesses, said Erion Veliai. The Brussels Fair is one of the largest in Europe, receiving more than 2 million visitors annually from all over the world. Albania will be represented with a series of activities such as the international conference Tirana-Brussels, the historic journey of Albanians, as well as bilateral meetings between Albanian and European business representatives. That's all for our English edition this evening. My name is Alexandra. Please join me again Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. On behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.